Buckle up for another episode of Ghost Phasers, a supernatural rewatch podcast. My name is Richard, and sitting shotgun as always is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
Yeah, we're young. We're covering season 3. I've got a cool earring. I'm definitely real.
We're in season 7, my man.
Pretty sure we're not. We just did the episode with the 7 sins.
Wait,
yeah, baby.
am I dead?
What?
I
I'm
dying?
fake. This is a memory of me with a cool earring being dope.
So I must be dying.
Nice. Hell yeah. Let me know how it is.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Yeah,
Let me just tighten the belt a little.
I'll help you get there.
Fuck yeah, let's get into this.
Ghost! Ghost Phasers! We face a ghost! When others were not, we're ghosts! Ghost Phasers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot! Ghost! Ghost Phasers! We face a nightmare! We face a dread! Ghost! Ghost Phasers! We face a faceless! We face a dead!
Welcome to Ghost Phasers. Today we're discussing season 7, episode 10. We're knocking on death's door.
This episode almost knocked on death's door.
Good thing I look at the file sometimes.
Yeah. Why is it not recording? Oh, you got to plug the mics in?
Who would have thought? I mean, everything was lit up. It was like almost there.
Listen, I want to rip on you for it, but I also didn't notice. So
all right, this episode
just shows how automatic it is. Just put a mic in front of me and be like, "It's time to quit, baby. Let's do this." Fuck yeah.
This episode aired December 2nd, 2011.
Mid-season.
That's right. Almost into the apocalypse to 2012. That's right.
Yeah, which obviously happened.
Yeah. We're speaking.
Are we in the bad place?
Oh my god.
I mean, there's a lot of compelling evidence.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm like, it's either a simulation or we're in the bad place.
Yeah. Okay. Truly, either way.
This episode was written by the showrunner Sarah Gamble,
Right.
and directed by from the dead Bobby Singer, Robert Singer.
Hey, spoilers.
I mean, come on.
What the fuck, man?
I think if you're listening to this, you've at least watched this episode.
No one knows.
They watched. They only listened.
He'll be okay.
Yeah. For the first time, they watched the episode and listened to this at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it sure does not work as a commentary track.
No, we tried that in the beginning. The first couple seasons are that.
Well, we kind of did that all because we weren't watching the episodes in advance.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the first season at least was like trying to watch it with it.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I didn't like doing that.
Yeah.
This is much better.
I mean, it's different.
Fair.
I'd hesitate to call anything we do better than anything else we do.
You're not wrong.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
okay.
all pretty consistent.
This episode was viewed by an estimated
1.89?
That's crazy. How did you know that exact number?
I fucking nailed it.
Let's watch the promo.
Hey, you know what? That's not a bad promo.
Yeah, wow. For the first time, I really enjoed it.
I would say it has a sort of Grey's Anatomy vibe.
Wow,
to
where
it.
did you get that kind of idea? That's
It's
such
a cool thing to say for the
That's
first time.
for the very first time. And now we're caught up.
Blowing through stuff faster than we've ever gotten through these segments. Fucking. Yeah. Whatever. Let's get to the episode.
Get to the new thing.
I'm bored already.
International titles.
Sure.
So death's door is a colloquial saying to refer to the point just before dying.
Sure.
You're on death's door.
Yeah.
You're at death's door.
Hey, you know who couldn't get on Life's door?
Huh.
Jack.
Whoa.
Titanic. That was a Titanic joke.
Oh, okay. I was like,
She survived. She was on the
I
door.
thought you were talking about
And he fell out. He was.
I thought you were talking about
Don't
Jack
let
from
go.
this show.
And he kind of.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about something entirely different.
Yeah.
Keep up.
Something completely unrelated.
I wouldn't say Titanic.
I mean, yeah, okay, fair.
unrelated.
Yeah, technically there is a relation because the episode about Titanic, but
And also, I don't know, thematically.
yeah, we're at death's door.
Probably.
Do you want to build a life raft?
Do you want to build a Death Door?
You can't say everything like that.
it's really like pervaded. It's
Truly. So this episode was actually originally titled "Not Fade Away."
Oh, okay.
Which
I
is
thought you were gonna say knock, knock, knocking on death's door. I thought that's what you were gonna say.
Knock, knock, knocking on death's door.
Hi, 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 hi,
Which is the same title as the series finale of the show Angel.
yeah.
So they love to like keep that.
And David Boreanaz was gonna show up. Full crossover.
Yeah, being real uninteresting. A real David Boreanaz.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Listen.
Puts the bore in Iannis.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah.
Unless he's problematic and I'm not supposed to.
I mean, he looks like he would be.
It feels like he should be.
Yeah, right?
But maybe is like a secret good
He's
guy.
a white guy. Let's just assume he's bad until proven otherwise.
That's fair, but he might be a secret good guy.
Yeah, no. I think if you're a millennial or older and you're a
I gotta
white
do
guy,
this. I've got to do this.
guilty and until proven innocent.
Hang on.
You're gonna look up.
I'm
Is
just gonna-
David
I'm just-
Boreanaz a bad guy?
David Bore. Oh God, Anna's
Canceled.
problematic. Let's see what we got here.
Mm-hmm.
Is David Boreanaz problematic? From Reddit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Didn't he do like some military stuff? Feels like that's a thing though. Those types of guys always end up doing.
I'm not.
No, nothing's like immediately coming up. No.
As a general rule, no one seems to be committing to anything. Everyone's more just asking. Man, I shouldn't have gone to Reddit for this. Everyone's just like harassing the original poster for being like, "What does problematic even mean? People can have
Of course.
opinions." It's like,
Reddit? That's
all right, Reddit. All right, let's
Yeah.
fucking sit down. Jesus.
So far, as much as we don't know, he didn't K-Pax himself. So
Nothing immediately comes up. Of,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Wow, K-Pax. Jesus.
All right, we've got 3 titles.
Okay. Our standard 3?
Of course.
Okay.
The French title is basically Death's Door. We're just adding an at in there. It's at Death's Door.
Oh, okay. Right.
All right. The Hungarian title.
Do you know what? That has like an interesting kind of like rhyme in French.
Mm.
À la porte de la mort.
Yeah. What's Au porte de la mort?
Oh, is porte masculine? Sure. Listen, that shit's fucking confusing.
The French language is confusing?
That part of it.
I mean, feminine and masculine bullshit is always weird.
Because it's not intuitive.
No, it's not like, well, of course.
Yeah.
You know, port's got a dick.
Yeah, everyone knows a door has a penis.
I mean,
Oh. Well, yeah, it has a knob.
yeah.
Fuck.
He's got a knob.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you fucking idiot. Oh, Paul.
Yeah, but I mean, Windows also masculine.
It's got a handle.
Le fenêtre.
It's got a... I guess, it should be feminine.
All right, easy. I'm glad no one can see that hand motion. You
Yeah, I was just telling the window to come over here.
that disgusting hand motion.
yeah.
I can't believe that's how you open a window.
Yeah, you tell it to come over here.
Yeah.
Like I got a secret. Come over here.
Yeah, how come all of your windows open by curling your fingers? That's fucking weird. How did you even set them up that way?
Yeah, really gotta stop doing that in the workplace. Come over here, just using my 2 middle fingers.
Stop using those fingers. That's so awful. I don't want to look at that anymore.
Just come over here.
Don't-
What if I move them in the middle?
Jesus.
All right.
The trick is to get this guy going, too.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we're cool.
Fuck yeah.
Damn it, we just David Boreanaz
Oh
ourselves.
no, we K-Paxed ourselves.
Yeah, luckily Reddit hasn't caught on because they're busy arguing about what problematic
The semantics
is.
of how to say
Yeah.
someone canceled.
Yeah.
All right, Hungarian title.
Okay. With my dying breath, like something like that.
Everybody's basically doing the Death's
Just
Door.
Death's Door? Is that also the phrase?
No, because then I would just say they're all
So
the
like, it's Hungary. Is it like Death's Hole? Hey,
elbow deep in Death's hole.
Bobby, this episode is in Death's Hole.
Yeah. That's where we put bodies, in the
Yeah,
hole.
in Death's Hole.
Yeah. Hungarian, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
We've never really nailed it.
I mean, they'll never fucking know.
I think we have Hungarian listeners.
Shit. Fuck.
No, a Hungarian title is A Step to Death.
Oh.
which kind of sounds like a rap song.
Oh, step death.
I'm stuck on the.
I'm stuck between worlds.
I'm stuck on the river Styx.
Yeah, step death. Oh no, I'm stuck in a pleasant memory.
Yeah.
Step
I'm
death.
stuck in the river Dix.
Jesus.
Step death.
The river Dix. Jesus.
All right, and the final title, gentlemen.
German title is the border between life and death.
Close. Slightly more vague, but yes.
Oh, okay. Like the middle. I don't know.
Wow.
The Jimmy Eat World song.
Yeah. It just takes
some time in the middle between life and death.
Everything will be
just dead.
Stop doing that. And dead. Like you're Dracula and you're really unconfident.
Dracula with an American accent. Yeah.
It'll be just dead.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's At the Threshold.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Yeah. We hold the thresh very
I'm at the
tight.
threshold, step death.
Hold my thresh step death.
Jesus. Jesus.
There is no featured music in this episode. TV Guide describes it as Bobby revisits his past to solve one of the most personal cases of his life. Meanwhile,
I mean,
Sam and Dean race against the clock on a high-stakes mission.
I mean,
I think they're kind of uninvolved.
yeah, but those are both largely untrue.
Yeah, I think they were just trying
it's
not to say
kind of not
Bobby's
a
dying.
case.
Yeah.
but it also, Sam and Dean basically don't do anything.
Yeah, I think they just didn't want to say Bobby's dying in this episode.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the reveal.
I think on Prime the description is better. It's something like, well, no, that's for the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
On Prime, the description is just like Bobby enlists the help of an old friend or something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
very
yeah.
brief, and you go like, all right, what's this
I'm
episode?
listening.
What's this episode about? Yeah,
Okay. So, before we get into today's episode,
sure.
why don't we open up Dad's journal and learn about some of the real world lore?
Let's see what the lore says about near-death experiences.
Whoa! Have you ever had one of those?
No, obviously not.
Why not, obviously?
Why do you think I would have died?
Why would I think that you have put yourself in a position where you could have died?
I've never done that. That implies that it's like
You had a chaotic life at some point where you would wake up, I don't know, in the outskirts of town and not know how you got there.
Death. Don't be so dramatic. Nobody's done a bunch of drugs at a party and woken up in a field.
Yeah, nobody's just
That's not death. That's fine.
nobody just confidently walks through a crime scene.
They had it handled.
Yeah, why would I ever assume that maybe you put yourself in a position where you were, I don't know, going through a life and death experience?
I suppose it's reasonable to assume that maybe. Well, here, when I talk about near-death experiences, we might understand, like,
What the interpretation of that is?
because I think a big part of it is the idea of,
Seeing an afterlife?
well, the idea in general, because there is a lot of like fields of study about it and things like that. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, every time you try to prove whether or not someone saw an angel, you can't prove it.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
Convenient.
But there are a lot of theories about like near-death experiences as trauma responses and things like that, about your brain sheltering you from extreme trauma, like the sort of injuries that would cause death or things like that. So, if you just don't register danger, there's no reason for your brain to do that.
Oh, so that's why you don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. So a near-death experience is, it pretty self-explanatory. It's an extremely traumatic event. It's the sort of thing that usually, like, you would experience this in a state of unconsciousness.
Sure.
There's a lot of kind of diverging explanations about it, but interestingly, in 2011, an estimated 9 million people in the U.S. reported having had a near-death experience.
Wow.
And near-death experience doesn't just mean like in this context doesn't just mean I was in a car crash and I almost died.
Fighting for
It means like having this kind of like the things we colloquially ascribe to it as sort of out of body experience, or like having these like other perceptions, or seeing your life flash before your eyes, or all sorts of like those elements. That's what they're talking about when they talk about a near-death experience.
Yeah.
They're not just talking about extreme physical trauma. They're talking about the sort of mental experience that accompanies it. So some common elements. So there's some research that identified like common components of a near-death experience. Now, not all of these would happen all the time, but in general, there's a few of these here. So common elements are reported, although the person's interpretation of these events corresponds generally with their own cultural, philosophical, religious beliefs. So, for example, in the United States, where a large proportion of the population is Christian and believes in angels, people tend to interpret elements of the near-death experience, like the blinding white light, as an angelic presence, whereas people with, say, a Hindu background would associate them as messengers of death. Like your cultural perceptions,
Sure.
like no one shows up and goes, "I am definitively an angel," but like you have an experience, and then your own beliefs reinforce
Whatever you
those
think you're
things.
seeing. Yeah.
So, some common traits reported across near-death experiences.
Okay.
So, a sort of awareness of being dead, a kind of self-aware, like detached nature, a sense of peace, positive emotions, an out-of-body experience, meaning that you are, sometimes that means that you're literally observing stuff from outside of your body, or maybe you're reliving memories from a different angle, like any of those kind of,
Like from behind.
like let's get B-roll on this. Yeah. Jesus, good Lord.
Yeah, I took my memories from behind.
I take my memories from what the fuck. The tunnel experience, like entering darkness, right? Rapid movement toward and or sudden immersion in a powerful light.
Sounds like you're still talking about from behind.
Oh yeah. An intense feeling of unconditional love and acceptance.
Man, it sounds like I want to
Die?
Yeah.
Listen, I've been saying that for years. Not for you, but just generally.
Yeah, it's just hard to find a belt big enough.
Death would be easy. Well, no, actually, it's a lot easier to find a neck-sized belt.
Yeah.
Man, I told that joke on stage and it worked once and it did not work a second time.
Like two different crowds?
Yeah. One crowd was like, "Oh, we all fucking choke it," and the other crowd was like, "What?"
What? Was one of them for a charitable organization?
No, they were back to back.
The same event?
They were back to back at the Boiler Room.
Different is it same comedian?
Same night.
Oh.
The early show and the late show.
The late show didn't work?
Early show fucking loved it. They were like, "We love getting choked while we get off." And the
Late show's like, we've been there. We can't relive this.
The late show was like, "Just buy a belt. You're not that fat."
There's
belts. I was like, "It's a joke, man."
Like, there's belts the size that you need. Just fucking get the job done.
Yeah, it must have been a crowd of Germans or some shit. Yeah. So some other things. Encountering beings of light, or beings dressed in white, or seeing your loved ones, or things like deceased loved ones, experiencing euphoric environments, receiving a life review, or like seeing your life flash before your eyes, approaching a border or a decision to return to your body, finding yourself back in your body, and a connection to cultural beliefs held by the individual, like we talked about, meeting the dead, and hallucinating ghosts in an afterlife environment. So, an out of body experience is not 100% the same as a near death experience, but the Venn diagram overlaps a bit. There are a psychiatrist named Raymond Moody described like 9 steps of a near death experience. So
you're gonna apologize to your friends and family.
I mean, it's mostly the things that we. I just got it. Mostly the things we just described. But in general, you can condense it to: there's peace, body separation, entering darkness, seeing the light, entering another realm of existence through the light.
You've sold me.
Listen, trust me, I fucking want it.
At least can we just do like a you can pull me back, but like
It would be easier.
let me just taste it for a moment.
So there are a few theories, like medical, psychological theories about near-death experience.
Sure, yeah.
So some of them, like I said, are that they're trauma responses. So that the idea of having your life flash before your eyes is, you've experienced such extreme trauma, you are like dying, and part of easing that process, your brain pulls memories, lets you, as much as it can, it's pulling memories for you to experience pleasant things and stuff like that, good feelings, so you're not just like dying in fear and agony.
I'm pulling memory step death.
Jesus. No. There's one theory that I think this one's a little more out there. It feels pretty Freudian, which I think makes it a little dubious, is that it's a specific trauma response to the trauma of birth.
Oh, of course. Yeah, there you go.
That you come from darkness out
Sure,
to the light.
yeah.
At the moment of death, your body's kind of like, is it like this again?
Reverse birth?
Well, no.
Been
no,
there.
No. I think that's, I don't know.
We should figure that out.
No, that's all right. Yeah, so there's a few ideas that way.
Drawings. I want to come from your mom.
And then also there's that cultural component, right?
Yeah.
There's a significant amount of studies that show that similar ideas, like experiencing the light or the tunnel or your life flashing before your eyes, and that people will interpret them through the lens of their own belief systems, and that they'll use it to reinforce that. So, like, there are these things that are like, in these studies, these people like experience these things or claim to experience these things, that they're pretty universal actually, but their experience of them always lines up with their beliefs going in.
Yeah, sure.
Like, you'd never have like a Jewish person go under and be like, fuck it, they were Catholic.
Yeah.
Catholicism was right. Like that never happens. So it's always about it seems to always come back to this idea of something comforting, something reassuring, something that like where your brain is doubling down on things you already have. So it does seem to be some sort of like protective trauma response.
I do like the idea that maybe like if there was an afterlife, that like inherently it just tries to like go like whatever you believe, like it's that.
Oh, I would love to believe that shit. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's like maybe that's just why it went.
And then I'll just so convince myself that the afterlife is Star Trek.
Oh my god, yeah. Be like, here, let me show you how to use the. Nah,
I've got this. Make it so.
Yeah, you just tell me a scenario. I got it. How's that Telltale game going?
It's good, although I'm at a part now that's slightly more action oriented, and I can't get past it.
Is it too scary?
No, I'm bad at aiming.
Oh,
I'm bad at aiming the phaser.
Fair,
but I'm actually really liking it. Yeah,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, Star Trek Resurgence. If anyone's a Trekkie out there, go play that. But yeah, there you go. Near-death experiences.
Hell yeah,
baby.
I'm sold.
Yeah, I mean, I just get rid of the near. You've got me.
More like beer death.
Yeah, you just sold a pitch of the room.
All right, we begin with the then.
All right.
I mean, it's really just fucking Leviathans.
Yeah, we see like
they sure exist.
Edgar and
Igor
and the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
We see stuff from the previous episode.
Dick.
Bobby getting shot.
Yeah,
all that
Dick blasting one off into Bobby's skull.
Jesus. Stop talking in Pornhub titles.
Hot dicks blasting off in your area.
Big dick shoots load
into head.
Big dick skull fucks. Jesus.
And we go into the now. The episode opens with Sam, Dean, and Bobby in the getaway car.
Yeah.
While Dean is driving, Sam notices the hole in Bobby's hat, and the brothers realize that Bobby's been hit.
Well, that's still in the then, because when we come to the now, it's just like the close-up of the fucking wound.
Yeah, Sam puts pressure on his wound.
Yeah, Dean's like, put pressure on it. Sam's like, I know what I'm doing. Get to it. Like,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah, Dean drives to the nearest hospital, and that's really the opening.
Yeah, the camera zooms in through the head wound,
Nice.
and then we're in
Deep into Bobby's hole.
in Bobby's hole. Yeah, in his death hole,
Yeah, of
as the
course.
Hungarians would say.
But
yeah.
now then we cut to now Bobby is in the woods with Sam and Dean, much like a previous episode we just saw.
Yeah. So they're in the woods, and we see like the one park ranger like up in the tree or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Bobby has a kind of like, wait a minute, this isn't right.
He realizes that his head is bleeding and that something is wrong.
Yeah, they go to the cabin, and Bobby keeps trying to say like, I got to get to the real world, and they're like, are you okay, Bobby? And
He realizes
he's like,
that-
there's numbers, I can't fucking get there. He's like, he writes down these numbers and he puts them in his pocket, and he's like, I have to get this to you out in the real world,
Yeah.
in the waking world. Bobby immediately knows what's up.
Of course.
He's like, I'm dying. This is in my head.
Yep.
Yeah.
When Bobby looks up, he's in.
Activate jetpack mode. It should be dream rules.
Yeah. what the fuck? When Bobby looks up, he's suddenly in the bedroom holding a glass of wine, and his wife Karen is on the bed.
Good Lord.
Fuck. With like the little strap down
More like
shoulder.
mommy singer, am I right? Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Real smoke show.
An absolute smoke show. Yeah. Too good for Bobby.
Yeah, obviously.
Fucking put a baby in her. Jesus.
Good Lord.
Or I will.
I mean, why did that sound like a threat?
Or I will.
Oh no. Oh no.
Whether he likes it or not.
I don't know, man.
She better.
This
She,
has all gone to a very
She better.
this is a very uncomfortable territory.
He realizes that it's another vision from his past, and Karen asks him to sit so she can tell him something. When he does so, Bobby realizes what night it is.
Yeah.
A storm booms outside, and he looks and sees the sky darken and the moon go out.
Yeah.
A young boy.
Nothing to see here. Just the mood going out.
Yeah, don't worry.
Uh-oh.
A young boy runs toward the house, and Bobby tells Karen that he has to go.
Yeah.
Outside, Bobby finds Rufus, dressed as a pest control worker outside a church.
Yeah, it's like a totally new location.
Yeah.
Rufus is rocking a fucking earring.
I think he always does.
Was he even old, Rufus?
I
Because
think
I just thought it was
so.
meant to, like, I thought this was the Tobin Bell backwards hat thing where it's like, we need Rufus to be younger. This is a young memory.
Oh, I thought he always did, but
I-
maybe not.
See, now I don't remember. This might be like a Mandela effect
Whoa. Either way, he's rocking it.
thing. It looks great.
Yeah.
I fucking love Rufus.
He tries to tell Rufus that he's going to die, but Rufus goes into the house as
Rufus
the
is
young
like,
boy.
yeah, it's a ghost hunt. He like
Runs
goes
past.
in, which is really funny.
Yeah. The young boy rides past again. He comes back and grabs Bobby's arm and says that God is going to punish him.
Yeah.
God says you've been a bad boy.
No, I mean, Bobby's
Ka-
wife should
Karen,
have said
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
fuck,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. I don't know who's hotter, Bobby's wife or his mom.
I mean, Bobby's wife.
I don't know. His mom's pretty hot.
It's not for me.
The red hair.
That's not my type.
Glass breaks.
Bobby's wife, though.
Absolutely.
Specifically, Bobby's wives.
Yeah.
If your name's Bobby and you have a wife, watch out. That's my type.
Bobby's wives.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Moynihan.
Any.
I mean, actually, Bobby Moynihan's wife is crazy hot.
Well, he's funny. He's on TV.
Yeah, that works, right, guys?
Yeah. What, is he funny or something?
Yeah. A glass breaks behind Bobby, and when he turns back, the boy is gone. Bobby goes inside and finds a church choir gathered.
Yeah, Rufus is already like at the front of the church. He's going through another door. He's using the EMF thing. Yeah, exactly.
The church shakes, and the choir members start to disappear. And
Yeah.
the lights go out row by row.
Yeah. And
There's
then
a man.
Bobby turns around and this guy goes like, "Hi, Bobby." And Bobby says like, "So you're my Reaper, huh?"
Idiot. And the Reaper explains that Bobby is in a coma and that he had to enter his dream to get him.
Yeah, Bobby says something about like, "What are you doing in my melon?"
Yeah,
Like a classic Bobby kind of.
nice melon.
Hey, you see the melons in my Or I guess in your version, did you see the melons on my mom?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Jesus.
Hey, look, Bobby made her so hot in his dream.
No.
Bobby runs
Jesus.
off, and the Reaper warns him that he's prolonging the inevitable.
Yeah.
Bobby,
He's like, you can't run from me. I'll find you even in this fucking rat maze in your head.
Bobby finds himself in his home now and finds Sam and Dean arguing about Chuck Norris versus Jet Li. Where do you stand on this? Jet Li, right?
This is such a manufactured thing. Like, no one was ever like, there's two sides of the coin. Chuck Norris and Jet Li. Like, there was a Jet Li Jackie Chan thing. Sure. There's probably like a Chuck Norris Van Damme thing or something. But like,
when this movie,
this feels so manufactured.
So when this came out, it was definitely in the like Chuck Norris like
the meme Chuck Norris thing of like when he does push-ups, he pushes the earth down. That shit.
God, what a weird time.
I mean, here's the thing. Chuck Norris is like undeniably a great martial artist, but Jet Li would beat the shit out of him.
Right? Yeah. Absolutely.
Jet Li would just fucking destroy him.
Did you ever see the movie Sidekicks?
No.
Oh, it's a great Chuck Norris movie, and with is it Devon Sawa?
Oh, interesting.
It was one of those like teen star kids, and it's kind of like
that feels like late for Chuck Norris. Then
it's a Chuck Norris like version of Karate Kid, kind of. I fucking love that.
Here's the thing: I watched some Walker. But I was never really into Chuck Norris movies.
No.
The stuff, like the action, like martial arts movies I grew up on, was like Steven Seagal, Van Damme,
Jackie Chan,
Jet Li,
Yeah.
A little bit of like the Scott Adkins stuff, like later.
Yeah.
But that was more my speed. It was a lot less Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
I liked Sammo Hung.
How well is
I think you know why.
So he ignores them and goes to the kitchen and finds a woman setting the dinner table. Oh my god!
I mean, she's pretty. Not my type though.
All right, fucking all right. You know, I only go after women you find attractive.
I mean, I don't know that that's true.
It is now.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know that that's 100% true.
I'm just saying it doesn't hurt. I just want you to fuck the people I have sex with.
I don't know, man.
That
feels like a weird.
I want you to
just
want to.
This is veering into a very weird territory. This is such a somber episode of Supernatural.
I know, which makes me uncomfortable, so I gotta change it.
Yeah. Just something that makes everyone uncomfortable. Yeah.
See, you get it. She says that Bobby is filthy.
She doesn't say it like that.
She says you're a dirty boy and you need to get cleaned up.
She does, but not like that.
And she does it with her tongue.
Jesus.
And asks why.
What the fuck?
And asks why.
What's wrong with you?
He wants him to get mad.
Yeah.
Bobby then finds himself back at the church with Rufus hunting Lara Coggins.
Yeah.
A ghost who is killing men who breaks girls' hearts.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm in trouble.
Yeah. All right.
Classic heartbreaker.
Pump the brakes a little bit here.
As Rufus prepares to open the coffin, Bobby tries to explain what's happening to him. Rufus ignores him, though, and breaks open the coffin. Dean and Sam then watch as ER doctors work on Bobby.
Yeah.
So, a couple things here. When Bobby is brought into the hospital, one of the healthcare professionals states GCS5. This is reference to the Glasgow Coma Scale, or the GCS.
Okay.
Which refers to patient levels of responsiveness in relation to their alertness, verbal response, and mobility response.
Right.
But GCS3 is completely unresponsive.
So that was a 5.
So...
does a 5 exist, or does this show just be like, he's worse than the worst?
No, the Glasgow Coma Scale is a 15.
Wait, hang on. Is it Glasgow or Glasgow? You just corrected yourself and you made it less clear.
Because one said Glasgow and another note I found said Glasgow. So one has a C and one has a G, and I don't know which one's the right one. But
fair.
It's less important.
Sure.
Sometimes it's mostly a 15-point scale.
Sure, yeah.
Where a patient is checked for eye response, verbal response, and motor response, and the values are added up. Example, eyes don't open equals 1. Eyes open in response to pain equals 2. Eyes open in response to voice equals 3. No verbal anything equals 1. Groans and moans, nice,
Oh, I see.
equals 2.
So then you add them up.
Yes.
So actually, the lower number you have, the worse
Yes.
off you are.
Yeah,
so
so
a
he's
5 is
slightly
bad
above-
if it's out of 14.
Yes. So he's
Right.
slightly above, like, completely unresponsive.
Understood. Gotcha.
A GCS of 5 means severe damage or coma. A score of 15 means you are ready for your Neuroscience 101 midterm exam.
Right. Gotcha. That's a cute phrasing.
Yeah. The nurse warns them that they can't get the bullet out until
Yeah, because Dean's
the
like,
swelling
take the
goes
bullet
down."
out. And they're like, all right, like, we're the doctors here, jacket man.
What do you mean? I used a broken beer bottle to take out a bullet last week.
Yeah, they're like, we're not sure we can get it out. It's deep in there. We don't know what the damage is. We don't know if it's shattered or anything. And I think Sam is also like, or like, if he's even going to live long enough to make attempting it worth it.
Exactly.
They close the curtains, and Sam and Dean just have to kind of stand there.
In the crypt, Lara attacks Bobby, calling him a heartbreaker, and rams her hand into his chest.
Yeah.
The brothers watch as Bobby crashes. Rufus used cold iron on Lara, temporarily dissipating her.
Yeah, I like when like the in his head and out like the real world stuff syncs up. So yeah, this moment where the ghost is like reaching in him, then yeah, his vitals go all over. They're like, he was just stable a minute ago, and yeah.
She attacks Rufus, but Bobby salts and burns her bones, destroying her ghost.
Yeah, this is an interesting moment because we normally don't watch the bones burn,
Yeah.
but he just kind of like, he just sort of like, what do you call it? He's just like searing the bones.
Oh, sure.
The bones are totally still there, and she's
Yeah.
totally burned up.
Yeah, I guess in our mind, it's like you burn them to ashes.
But it's more just like a purifying
Yeah.
flame than it is like reduce them to ash.
Yeah. So he tells the
This and fully have not drunk any of it yet.
You could do that now. I don't know why you needed to commentate on that.
How would I describe this?
Oh no. Oh no.
Tart and tropically sweet
Uh-huh.
with a touch of heat. Arriba, abajo, al centro, pa dentro.
For those who speak Espanol, please let us know what that meant.
I mean, I'm sure I did a great job.
Better than me. He tells the unconscious Rufus that he needs him and then carries him off.
Yeah.
The doctor finally tells the brothers that Bobby is stable and now they can only wait.
Yeah.
Bobby finds himself on a street in the daylight.
Yeah.
He sees the kid again and goes
Fucking
over to
kid, yeah.
him. You damn idiot, stop running. Stop
Yeah.
being a white rabbit.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing white rabbiting all over the place? Wait a minute, I know you.
Yeah.
And then Rufus gets wheeled out of the hospital in a wheelchair.
And the boy
He
disappears.
hits on the nurse. He goes, call me. He gets out of the wheelchair and he's like, bet you thought I was dead. I'm not. Rocking this earring. Rufus, baby.
And I'm like, fuck, I miss Rufus.
Rufus has more swag in this episode than
Yes.
in many other.
Truly.
I do like the idea of young Rufus.
Yeah. Bobby asks him what he saw during his near-death experience that Rufus had.
Well, it's funny because Bobby says, remember what you told me after the thing? But it's like, it's happening right now. Like,
He's also...
Bobby's in that memory.
Yes.
And Rufus is like, I haven't told you anything, but since you asked.
He's also asking himself. He's like...
Yeah.
He's
Yeah. Well,
pulling
yeah,
them-
because it's all his subconscious.
Yeah. Like, had he not been there, it wouldn't have happened, right?
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Yeah.
And Rufus says that he saw the apartment building from when he was a kid, and he tried to get out by looking for the exit door.
Yeah. I don't want to die on no damn plaid carpet.
Every door he opened led to another memory, and he finally went deep into the other things he didn't want to think about to get out. Rufus wonders what Bobby is going about, and he explains that he's in a coma and he has to get numbers to the wind chimes.
I love how quickly Rufus is on board. He's like, wait, I'm just one of your memories? Oh, man.
Ah, nuts.
So then he's going to help like guide Bobby
Yeah.
through getting out of his near-death experience.
Totally.
Which is a really fun premise.
Yeah, I love it.
Just for an episode, just
Yeah.
in general. It's a really, really good
Yeah, if you
setup.
die and I almost die, I'd like for you to, in my memory of you, to help me through my life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Rufus being dead has an impact on
No,
it.
I don't think so either. But just it helps.
So I don't have to die for this.
No, I think you do.
I mean, I'd prefer it, but
Yeah, let's go near death and see what happens.
I mean, I just walked past it. I don't register it. Death courts me daily,
I know.
and I resist her advances.
Yeah, she's like, hello.
Not today.
Yeah, you're gonna try harder than that, please. The storm starts rolling in, and Bobby tells Rufus that he needs him, his partner, to come with him. When Rufus tells him to focus on his worst memory, Bobby says that he has too many to narrow things down. However, Rufus asks why the ghost called him a heartbreaker, and Bobby realizes what memory he needs to face.
Yeah, he goes, thanks for narrowing it down. And
Now I need to face Karen.
oh, man. Bury my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they go back to Bobby's house.
Yeah.
It's a different day
Yeah.
with Karen. And she's saying, like, I hate you. Like, everything's a lie. Why would you do this? You knew I wanted kids, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
She drops a glass and steps on it by accident. And she's like, go away. I hate you or whatever. And Bobby has this like really good scene. Like Jim Beaver is great in it. And actually
Yeah.
the guy playing Rufus is great in this scene too, 'cause
Yeah.
Rufus is so quippy, and it really lends weight to a scene when even Rufus is just like, well, shit. Just kind
Yeah.
of quiet, like watching.
Yeah.
Like he does such a good job of like adding to the atmosphere of that scene.
Totally.
And he's just saying like this happened like 3 days before she fucking died and turned into a zombie or whatever happened to
yeah.
her. And he's like, Bobby says, if I'd have known
yeah.
that I only had 3 more days, I would have told her anything she wanted to hear, which is kind of sweet, but also just like, oh, I'd definitely lie to her if I knew she was going to fucking die.
I mean, of course, yeah.
I guess. I don't know if that's the act of mercy you think it is, especially in a world where we know there's an afterlife.
Oh, yeah, fair. I try to put my seed in her.
Jesus. Good Lord.
Are
you okay?
I mean, that's a relative question.
This feels like pent up.
I'm pent up. Do you want to get into it?
No, absolutely not. I'm all right.
I'm horny.
Oh, that's the catchphrase. That's the secret word. Horny.
I'm horny.
Probably a word Pee Wee Herman's not allowed to say.
Oh, I was doing Fozzie Bear, but
Oh, I was trying to do Pee Wee Herman.
waka waka off.
Jesus. Good Lord. Waka waka off. No, not the Muppets. Not like this.
More like mop it ups.
Jesus.
His Muppet the floor up, yeah. He tells Rufus that Karen was possessed 3 days later. His biggest regret was never getting the chance to fix this with her.
Yeah.
Rufus tells Bobby to try the door now, and Bobby thanks him before going through the door.
He steps through the light, and then when we cut to commercial and cut back,
Yes.
Bobby ends up in a park, and he goes, balls.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, I'm not out. I'm stuck here. Rufus is sitting with him, and he's like, why are we here? What year is it? 89? You look pretty good. You're not so fat right now.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's playing with a young Dean.
yeah. Bobby is taking Dean to the park. Dean's like, Dad said I'm supposed to learn how to use a shotgun. And Bobby's like, yeah, well, I thought maybe we would just throw the ball around. Now, we were watching this right before we recorded, and both of us clocked how weird Bobby throws the ball. The first throw, he like Kobe's it.
Yeah.
Like a fucking 3.
Yeah, like an alien who's like,
Then-
I know sports.
The next time he sort of like lets it go, like
yeah.
gentle, like
Yes.
it's weird. Go back and watch the scene. It's 2 of the weirdest baseball throws I've ever seen on TV.
Truly.
It's one of those moments where I was like, like Jim
Bobby's
Beaver,
dad.
but Jim Beaver does such a good job playing Bobby, a guy that knows cars, and I just give me
Yeah.
a beer, blah blah blah. And you go, he's an actor though.
Yeah,
he doesn't
yeah.
play sports.
Yeah.
That's the moment where you're like, oh, he went to theater school.
Yeah. It's just a soft boy inside.
You know, there are some actors because they play such like tough, or
Yeah.
manly roles or whatever. You go like, they just found someone tough and taught them how to act, and you kind of forget. It's like, no, they probably also went into this career. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, I feel that way about like Joint Boy on Letterkenny. Like,
Oh, yeah,
looks
yeah,
so
yeah.
tough, but I bet he just went to school for
Yes.
theater or something. Yeah.
Was there people in your theater school that were like super jacked or like looked
I mean,
like they would be tough?
a couple, maybe not quite to that extent.
Yeah.
But there were some people that like looked like they had more lived experience.
Sure.
I don't even know that I think Bobby looks tough, but he just looks like
He's lived a life.
he's such a good actor that it just feels like he's playing a guy that also lived a life similar to that. So then watching him throw that ball, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, you should have fucking went to baseball throwing day.
He put throw a baseball on his resume, and then he was like, I hope nobody ever makes me. He's like, I can tap dance, I can throw a baseball.
Yeah. And then today they were like, Jim Beaver, we saw it on your resume.
Like, oh yeah, Kobe.
It's so funny.
It's such a good moment.
It is
It's
really
really funny.
So he plays ball with the boy, and Rufus points out that Bobby makes a heck of a dad. Bobby tells him to shut up and looks for another door.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. And, it happened in the previous scene, too. Rufus is like, I thought you'd be a family man. Like, you seem cut out for it. Like, why won't you spill your seed in your wife?
Yeah, people are dying to.
Hell, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Bobby's like, I don't want to get into it. And then, so again, it comes up here. He's like, seems like you make a good dad. Bobby's like, shut the fuck up.
As they find one and approach it, Rufus asks Bobby why he doesn't want kids. Bobby explains that his dad was a mean drunk and didn't want to pass on the legacy.
Yeah.
Rufus tells him that he needs to accept whatever it is he's trying to avoid.
Yeah.
They go through the door and find themselves in Bobby's childhood home.
Okay, hang on, though. Is the implication here that Bobby's childhood home is his home? Like the one that burned down? Because, he opens those sliding, because they're in the old living room that we remember, like of Bobby's house.
Yeah.
And then he opens the sliding doors, but the kitchen on the other side, like, looks like his kitchen.
I bet it is, because it is
the implication that, like, that yard, that town, like, Bobby's just living in his family home?
I would think so, because it's Sioux Falls.
That, spoiler alert, Bobby has been living in the home where he fucking shot and killed his own dad.
I mean, it's Sioux Falls. It's not unreasonable to think.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that's... I know they're just reusing sets and we're traveling through memories, but I just, for a moment, I was like, oh, fuck. So in this house, he's shot and killed his own dad and then later killed his wife.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, Bobby, move.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
So his dad's reading the newspaper. A thing that I noticed, one of the headlines for the Sioux Falls Gazette that Bobby's father's reading at the dinner table it says, the past is best left behind.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
His mother is nervously serving supper, and
she's fucking shaking.
Yeah,
this dad might as well be the fucking Joker. Like
truly.
She's like, like shaking, putting peas and meatloaf on his plate.
Yeah. Young Bobby knocks over a milk glass.
Well, young Bobby runs in and he's like, "Oh, the Crown Prince is going to join us a little late." And you're like, "Is your
Never
son,
have
man."
I hated a character more in media than this guy. Like the only secondary is like the fucking teacher from Harry Potter. Like,
I mean, we're only meeting Bobby's dad now.
he may have been a great guy.
No, that's not what I was. That's not where I was going. We don't have all the facts.
Yeah, we didn't see what his wife did before this.
Maybe she really is a stupid bitch.
Holy shit.
No, that's not where I was going. What I was I was trying to say is we have to skip over a more three-dimensional version of an abusive dad and go straight to like cartoon villain.
Sure.
Everything he says is vitriol. He's just reading the paper, she's shaking, and he's like, "Oh, Crown Prince." And then Bobby knocks over a glass of milk, and he's like, "You stupid son of a bitch.
Everything you touch breaks."
Yeah,
like,
you break everything you touch. You'll remember that phrase. You know,
yeah. And then he throws his plate off the table.
Yeah, she's like, "It's okay, we'll still have a nice dinner." He's like, "Here's your nice dinner." Like, we're straight into cartoon villain. I mean, there are...
I bet there are guys like that.
And these aren't like real people, but what I'm saying is, if this had been an evolving arc, the idea of Bobby's trauma with his own dad, we would have seen a version where it's like, we had one good day and I remember that, but otherwise he was a fucking blah, blah, blah. Or like, there's always some kind of shit. Like, but in this one, it's just like, have him say all the meanest, most hurtful things, have him break as many things as possible, make him hit the mom.
Yeah, what Reed's trying to say is that there's two sides to every story.
There's good people on both sides.
That's one man's perspective.
All I'm saying is maybe the meatloaf was dry, you dumb cow. That's 100% not what I was trying to say. Jesus. Fuck.
Bobby steps forward and closes the door. And Rufus says that he's sure he's in the wrong place. The storm goes closer, and Rufus warns Bobby that the Reaper is getting close, and there's no way to stop it.
I gotta say, that storm thing where like the room shakes and lights
Scary.
go out and stuff, it's also so much better than, remember the fucking angel searchlight in heaven?
Oh my God.
When Sam and Dean are hiding in heaven, there's just the fucking Eye of Sauron like following them. This is such a better version of that.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Bobby realizes what he has to do and says that they're going to stop the Reaper.
Yeah.
The doctor
Goes,
tells...
"Baby, don't fear the Reaper.
Yeah.
Get me a cowbell."
The doctor tells the brothers that only one hemisphere of Bobby's brain was damaged, but says that more often than not, the patient still dies.
Yeah, and you know,
it all comes down to Bobby.
Things are going poorly, and Dean, I think at this point is someone. We see this guy with like a clipboard, and he comes around and talks to Dean, and he goes, "I know this is a tough time, but did your uncle?
Can you pay for this death?"
No, that's not his thing. He goes, "Did your uncle say he was going to be an organ donor?"
Mm-hmm.
And Dean's like, "What?" And he's like, "Well, there's just a limited window in which the organs are viable." And he's like, "What the fuck are you saying? He's gonna live. I'm fine. There's no trauma here." Dean punches a window thing, and the guy goes, "I'm sorry, we won't hurt Mr. Uncle." And then Dean's obviously upset. As he's walking out the door, we see it says trauma center, and be like, "Yeah, boy, howdy." Fuck.
You also hear in the background on the overhead speaker, it says Code Gray.
Is that like a violent altercation or something?
It's a combative person.
Yeah. I was wondering that too, because I also heard that. I was like, that's deliberate.
Yeah.
Dean walks outside. This is a small thing, but just from us having worked in marketing and that, the sign on this hospital, the font is so like weirdly like, it's like a 60s futurist font on a hospital. It's like, just give me cleaner lines. Give me like a Helvetica. I don't need your branding on this hospital. It's weird. The Hamilton Health Center or whatever it's called. A totally made up town name.
Yes.
But yeah, Dean walks outside and then he sees this like all black car with the tint and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, "You motherfucker." And he goes down and he's like, Dick, show yourself. And Dick rolls down the window. People are immediately filming.
Yeah.
Like, I guess because Dick Roman is famous.
Sure.
But what I'm going to describe what transpires, but then I want to talk about what I was thinking.
Okay.
So Dean goes like, "Oh, you're here to finish the job? Well, guess what? everyone's filming. It's not so great being famous. Why don't you come out here and kill me, Dick Roman? Dick Roman, you're going to kill me? And Dick is like, I'm a really good shot. You better go in and see how your fucking uncle's doing, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
They have this back and forth, and Dean's like, I'm going to kill you. He goes, I can't be killed. He goes, you're going to wish that you could. And he's like, oh, like, you're very threatening, Dean, or whatever. He's like, well, we're coming for you. You're either laughing because you're scared or you're laughing because you're stupid. And Dean goes away, and Dick rolls up the window.
Yeah.
Which is a great scene.
Yeah.
Dick is awesome. I love that actor, whose name is James Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
Patrick Stewart. No.
James Patrick
No,
Stewart.
that's Sean Connery.
It's so close, though.
Hang on. Mr. Dayton. No. No. Now I'm...
Earl
fuck,
Grey
I can't-
tea,
I can't-
hot.
Yeah. Earl Grey. No, I can't. Fuck, I don't have it.
No,
At any rate,
fuck.
I really like Dick in that scene. Dean is great in that scene.
Yeah.
But think of like the people that are filming.
Yeah.
They see this guy like storm out a car, go, Dick! And then the window rolls down. It's one of the most famous people on the in the country. And they all start filming, and then they watch a guy who just punched a window inside go, are you going to kill me, Dick Roman? Like, they must think Dean is nuts.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like, you wonder, like, how much of the audio is getting picked up, because Dick is also just fully saying, like, oh, I'm a really good shot. I bet your uncle's fucked right now. Like,
Yeah.
it's a weird scene.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure I get it, because, like, the famous thing...
Yeah, like I don't know if it needed to be in the episode.
There's also just the idea of the daylight thing. They don't want to be in the new, like the Leviathans, we've already established they're trying to keep, like, we don't need the extra layer of the only reason Dick isn't doing something is because he's famous.
Yeah.
Like, you could send Edgar, like, we don't need that extra layer. So it's just weird to draw so much attention to it by having every extra take out their phone and film it.
Yeah, either the scene just shouldn't have existed or the people shouldn't have pulled their
They
cameras.
should never have acknowledged it. It should just be, they should be out there as extras, and then Dean and Dick have their...
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a very weird
Totally.
moment.
So, Bobby then goes to his home and looks for a King James Bible.
Yeah, and basically he's explaining, like, we can't stop a Reaper, but we can...
Slow him down.
So, get out the recipe book. And Rufus is like, all right, let's do this. And they, like,
Find the cross and the rosary in a compartment, and the Bible takes it out.
it's interesting through this sequence, though, as they're getting ingredients and that. This goes through a couple of cuts, but one of the books Bobby takes out is just blank pages. One of the cupboards he opens has nothing in it, and Bobby's like looking for stuff, and you go like, oh, that's interesting, kind of weird or whatever. But it's sort of like it's a detail that comes back later that is essentially that, like,
He's losing things.
the bullet is destroying his brain slowly, so he's losing memories as he's going.
Totally.
Yeah.
Dean tells Sam about his encounter with Dick and asks for an update. And Sam says the swelling is down and Bobby is still fighting. However, he warns his brother that the doctors aren't going to try to take the bullet out, but may cut out the injured brain tissue.
Yeah.
So what actually he says is, in speaking to the doctor, in speaking of the doctor's surgical option, Sam says the word is abrading.
Yes.
I think meaning cutting out the dead brain tissue. Actually, abrading is like rubbing with sandpaper or a wire brush, something you do to a surface. Debriding,
Yes.
a penetrating brain injury, means removing the dead skin issue.
Yeah.
Tissue, bone
weird that
chips, and
it's
other
the wrong
debris.
word. I was
Yeah.
thinking that too, because I watch a lot of Grey's Anatomy.
Of course. Yeah. Very risky.
A cool thing to do.
Of course. Very risky when swelling is present. Even without cerebral edema, or edema, I'm not sure.
Edema.
I said it right the first time. Again, I don't watch Grey's Anatomy, so
Maybe you fucking should.
complicating things. Surgeons don't always agree on whether debridement is worth it.
Right.
So,
Yeah, Sam tries to have a real moment with Dean, which is like, we should prepare ourselves for the worst. And Dean's like, we don't have to prepare ourselves. Everything's going to be fine. And he, like, earlier when Dean was confronted with the organ guy, he was like, it's only one bullet. Like,
Yeah.
obviously this is tough for Dean. it's funny what Dean says to Sam in this scene is like, what you want us to hug and say we got through it when Dad died? And the sort of unspoken thing, the thing he doesn't say next is like, we didn't give a shit about Dad. This is Bobby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Truly.
Like, that's I think it comes through in the performance. I think it's actually a very strong moment because there is this kind of thing like, that's not even close to the same thing. This is our real dad.
Yeah.
Like,
Truly, though, yeah. He then tells Dean that they need to brace themselves for Bobby's death. Dean refuses to accept it and says that they've been through enough and then walks away.
Yeah.
Bobby and Rufus prepare for the ritual.
Yeah.
Bobby discovers that most of his ingredients are missing. As he goes through the drawers filled with objects, he sees his younger self on the phone talking to John.
Yeah.
And saying that the brothers need their father.
Not like young Bobby, but like the one shooting threes in the park.
Yes. When Bobby turns back to the drawer, he discovers that it's empty.
I feel like we've seen that scene before, though. Bobby on the phone.
Maybe.
I feel like that, like where he says like, no, we actually just threw the ball around. Well, they're kids. They're entitled or whatever. Yeah, I know I'm not their real dad or whatever. Yeah.
He goes back to the living room and inscribes a sigil on the floor.
Yeah.
And then holds a cross and begins the ritual. The Reaper appears within the sigil and admits that he's impressed and tells Bobby that the dark is coming, and Bobby knows it.
Yeah, I like the line that the Reaper has where he goes, "This ritual won't hold me because this room won't hold."
It's insane that like this even works.
I love it. That's the kind of like lore on lore kind of shit, which is like in your mind you've cast a spell so strong.
Yes.
That, like, but it's like if he's in your mind too, it's not like the Reaper's in the
Sure,
real world
yeah.
waiting. So like it tracks, you know.
It's fuck.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
a fucking Inception,
But I do like that line where he's like, "You're losing your memories. Eventually, this house will fade, and when it does, I can get you."
Yeah.
So I'll just wait. But like, there's another interesting thing here where he's like, I want to talk about this Reaper a little bit. This Reaper, you know, we've seen, what was her name? The Tess? Was that the Tessa or whatever? That Reaper was very much a like, you're going to a better place. Like she had an approach. I feel like they sent Bobby a Reaper that is Bobby
on his level, yeah.
who's kind of just like, listen, it's over.
Yeah.
Right? But there are these moments where like he gives kind of the Bobby version of like sincerity where he's like, you were given like a nothing life and you made something
I
out
love
of it.
that.
Most people don't. You've earned this.
Yeah.
Come with me. Like, because for the most part, he's just like, I'll find you. I'll get you. He's like the pragmatist like Bobby, but then he's just like, don't you want this? Like,
Yeah.
Of all people, you deserve this. Let me do this.
Yeah.
You know, like there's kind of it's a nice performance.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Because there is that kind of like, it's a threat, but also at the same time, it's just like, even Rufus is like, I don't know, Bobby, like this might be the better deal.
Yeah.
Like,
Rufus asks Bobby if he wants to be stuck as a ghost,
Yeah.
and the Reaper says that Bobby has helped with his small, meaningless life and that he's done enough.
Yeah.
Bobby refuses to accept that, saying that the Winchesters are his boys.
yeah, he's like, I'm not going. And yeah, the Reaper's like, why? He's like, because they're my boys.
Oh.
Glad I didn't fucking cry here watching.
I'm
it
surprised
with
you didn't. It was only because you were watching on an angle and half paying attention.
Yeah, and I teared up last night.
Yeah.
But don't worry,
Oh, it happened.
I got there.
Yeah. Just as long as you got there.
But by that, I of course mean sadness.
What other?
That's the only kind I have.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the only way I get.
It's the only there I get.
He sees the young boy again, his younger self,
Yeah.
and realizes that the only way out is through.
Let's do this.
He thanks Rufus and then follows the boy out.
Yeah.
Bobby is back in his childhood home and watches mother cleans up the broken glass. Ed yells at the young Bobby to clean. When the boy leaves the room, Ed complains that his wife lets their son do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and then she's like, hey, it's okay. You go sit down, have another drink. Nobody tells me what to do, even if it's the thing I'm obviously going to do.
As young Bobby comes back, Ed hits his mother,
Yeah.
and young Bobby runs out of the room again.
Yeah. And then it gets pretty tense here, you know, like him like grabbing the mom by the hair and stuff. And then young Bobby comes back in the room with a rifle.
I do like the line where Ed says that.
Oh, sorry. In between this, right? Yeah, the kid is out of the room.
Yeah. So when Bobby's mother wonders why her husband provokes his son.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh yeah.
She says that to Bobby.
Yeah, so
which is
fucked
so
up.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Bobby
speaks
why
up
do you
saying
always
it's
provoke him?
Yeah. Bobby says it's a load of crap and calls him a drunken bully.
Great scene here. Jim Beaver is crushing it. So now, like, the two parents are talking to our Bobby.
Yeah.
In the memory, and he's like, "You're a big old piece of shit. Like, kids aren't supposed to be grateful. They're supposed to eat your food, break your heart. You selfish dick."
How much did that fucking line kill you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously. I'm a parent. Literally anything makes me cry now.
Yeah.
Anything even remotely about anything.
Yeah. Especially parenting.
Especially that, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Ed says that
Teamwork.
he breaks everything he touches, and Bobby tells him that he adopted 2 boys and they grew up heroes.
Yeah.
And Ed can go to hell.
Oh.
Fuck, he's so fucking good. We then go to the ER nurse telling the brothers that Bobby is starting to respond and that they, if they want to, can see him.
Because they're about to bring him to surgery.
Yeah, they have to do it quickly, though.
Yeah. Because we're going to abrade his brain.
Yeah.
Get me the sandpaper.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Get me the belt sander.
Jesus. Young Bobby...
Oh, debride.
Whoops.
That one's on me.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
Young Bobby then comes back with the rifle, and his father laughs.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you're not half the man. You can just shoot me." And then,
Because that's what you do with somebody with a gun. Taunt them.
but then Kid Bobby says, like, "Leave her alone," and then shoots. There's something I kind of like about this. Not like, because the kid's not. It's not like badass. The kid's not like, "No more dirtbag." Like, it's nothing like that.
Down.
But I also like that it doesn't fall into the thing of like the dad stepping forward and like scared shooting. It really makes it that Bobby's like, no, this is a choice.
Yeah.
You see more that it's not like Bobby was scared in the moment and he did it.
Yeah.
It's that Bobby as a kid decided to kill his dad, which is like very powerful. And then the mom is like, "You're going to go to hell." And then
God will punish you.
And then adult Bobby has to turn to his younger self and go, "This was the moment where I learned they almost never thank you." You're like, oh, God. It's brutal.
Yeah. He then tells his younger self to go get a shovel, bury his father behind the woodshed.
Yeah. I also like that when the Reaper shows up in this scene, he goes, "You've got the only genetic case of bullet to the head I've ever seen." It's just such a funny line.
It's a great line.
It's a really good line. Yeah.
Bobby then runs to the door and opens it and goes into the light beyond.
Yeah.
As the doctor prepares Bobby for surgery, Sam takes his hand and thanks him for everything. Fucking Jesus.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
That's an emotionally charged scene. I think Jared does great in it.
Yeah.
But also, like, he's about to die. You can't say "I fucking love you."
I mean,
you
guys.
Like impossibly broken men. Jesus.
Yep.
He's not even awake. You can play it off. Just fucking like, he can't even say "I love you" to their fucking dad.
I say it to strangers. Like.
Yeah, I say it to get what I want. No.
Yeah. As long as I'm getting laid.
Jesus.
Bobby opens his eyes and tries to talk. The brothers give him a pen, and he writes down the numbers on Sam's hand.
Yeah, and he gives like a big smile.
And he writes "for a good time."
Yeah. He just he writes 80085.
Nice.
Yeah.
Once he's done, he calls them idiots, smiles, and then flatlines.
Yeah.
The doctors take him to the trauma room.
I gotta say, when Bobby has this moment where he wakes up, the doctor is in the room with Sam and Dean.
Yeah.
And when Bobby's unresponsive and they're like, "Thanks for everything," she's just standing there, respectful.
Yeah.
But then Bobby, eyes open,
Yeah.
hand moves, takes the mask off, and she's just standing there.
I know.
It's like, get in there.
Yeah.
Do your fucking job. It's like, I was just getting ready to abrade the shit out of his brain. I don't know what to do with this.
So funny. So Bobby's pushed into the trauma OR, and a doctor orders 80 grams of mannitol.
Yeah, that's for me.
Yeah.
Get me in the right headspace for this.
Mannitol is a sugar alcohol.
Oh.
It is used to treat cerebral edema,
Oh.
or edema.
Edema.
Menzel.
Yeah. Adele Dazeem. Yeah.
And gets a bit complicated. If you sprain your ankle, you take off your boot, and the ankle has room to swell. Edema.
Right.
If your brain swells, there is no extra room in the skull, and then the pressure can kill your brain. Edema is extra water in the tissue.
So is the alcohol then to thin your blood to minimize swelling?
So if you could, I think so. If you could draw the extra water from a swollen brain, that would be good. Mannitol does not readily leave the blood to enter the brain cells, blood-brain barrier.
Right.
So mannitol in the bloodstream draws water out of the brain tissue and into the bloodstream. Osmotic diuretic.
Yeah. It just means it moves water by the process of osmosis from an area of high concentration to low.
So it is standard short-term treatment.
Interesting. Well, that's fun.
So,
sorry. That I'm saying that and going like, yeah, that tracks. Grey's Anatomy. But then it made me think of at the beginning of this episode when they're in the van, Sam has a line where he says, "I know first aid for a gunshot wound to the head."
And you're like, oh, I forgot he was pre-med too.
Also, like, first aid for it's just like hope for the best, really.
Yeah.
Like, stop. I know stop bleeding, but like, there's no first aid for.
No, so funny. Bobby finds himself back at his house as he gets beers for the brothers. The Reaper appears and congratulates him on waking up.
Yeah, the Reaper's like, good move there, waking up for a little bit. And he's like, well, I'm Bobby Singer.
He then explains that it's dark outside because everything else in Bobby's brain has been destroyed by the bullet.
Yeah.
The Reaper tells Bobby that for his own good, he should move on and assures him that the Winchesters will be okay without him.
Oh,
I know. That was another one. Bobby considers and then says he's glad he saved the best memory for last.
Yeah, and he goes in and he hands the boys beers and they're having a nonsense argument about like licorice and shit and peanut butter and banana sandwiches. I'm too emotional to do a sandwich segment this week.
You know what's in good taste? Bobby's wife.
Man, you won't hear it on the track. An impossibly long pause. Is it all right?
Yeah, everyone's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not in the mood. I can't do a sandwich segment. But Sam and Dean kind of fade out. Like what's happening in other scenes.
Yeah.
Like Bobby's memory is leaving.
Yeah.
Do you know what I thought of? Like that I didn't think of the first time I watched this because it wasn't a reference point, but I did think of now.
Okay.
It's the end of Picard season 1.
Oh.
When Data asks to die.
Yeah.
And they're like slowly unplugging him.
Yeah.
Luke Skies is playing. And
yeah. And that's the end of the episode.
Well, yeah, it ends with the Reaper saying, last chance, Bobby, come with me or stay. And
we don't know.
We just cut the black.
Per an October 2014 interview with TVLine.com celebrating the 200th episode of the show,
okay.
Jared Padalecki states Death's Door is his favorite episode of the series thus far. Jensen Ackles revealed that it's also his favorite episode.
It's way up there. It's great.
What did you think?
I love this episode.
Yeah.
This episode is like great performances.
Yep.
A really just clever kind of setup.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of satisfies almost a more classic Supernatural episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, great performances almost across the board.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Reaper. I love Bobby. I love Earring Rufus. The boys are good. They're barely in it, but they're good. Dick is great in his one little scene that he's in. It's a real like powerful Bobby episode. Jim Beaver's amazing. I mean, there's not too much to say about this other than it's captivating. You're in it. He's great. Like all these moments. It's also kind of like a greatest hits of Bobby. We see like nice dad Bobby, and we see like heartbroken Bobby, and we see badass Bobby, and we see like all these different yeah, it's yeah, I mean, it's a terrific episode. This I'd give this 5 sanded brains
Nice.
out of 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think that this episode kills me. This episode, like, it's so concisely written, and
It's a tight episode.
yeah, there's nothing that's like not. Oh God, yeah. Speaking of
Easy. Easy.
yeah. I mean, Bobby's wife's fucking smoking in it.
I mean, yes. Good Lord.
Yeah. So I'm also going to give this 5 out of a possible 5 pregnant Bobby's wives.
All right. I mean, that's ironic because this episode had a 0 out of 5
Yeah.
possible pregnant Bobby's wives.
All right. Well, those were our reviews. But before we go, we've got a note from a fellow hunter.
All right.
From Lucas, who says, I absolutely love this episode. If I could give it 6 stars out of 5, I would. This is my favorite episode of this show. And fun fact, in an interview with Jensen, our pie-loving man, he said that it was one of his own favorite as well. The reason why it is my favorite is because of my dad.
Oh.
My dad is the one who got me into watching the show during the time of season 5 during a Labor Day Monday. And we both sat down to watch the show after he recorded every episode from season 1 to 6 on the VCR. Though we both stopped at the end of season 6, we both, of course, watched Scooby Natural when it was released.
Obviously.
And we loved it.
God, I can't wait till we get there.
As it rekindled our enjoyment, but unfortunately, it would be the final episode that he would get to watch with me on Netflix because he passed away a little under 3 years ago.
No.
A few months before the series finale ending.
Oh, no.
Every time I look at this
not
episode,
like this.
I cry thinking about him. Wondering if he would look up at the rest of the series with that love we had long ago, or if he would have disliked it like the near end of season 6.
Look up. Are you playing your dad's in hell? Wait a minute. Is he looking up at this show? I'm sorry.
That's really funny.
I'm really sorry.
Thank you for taking the time to review this series that made me fall into a more passionate love for entertainment media, and I am really happy to listen to more pie and sandwich segments when the time comes.
Yes.
Reed.
You're goddamn right. But only when it's when it's the right time.
Yeah.
I've got fucking class.
Yeah, like pulled pork.
Yeah.
Her guts are fucking torn out. Thanks, Lucas, for that heart-wrenching email.
Yeah, I'm sorry about your dad. I mean, A,
Sorry
that
that
he's
he's in
gone,
hell.
and B, that he's in hell. I'm just really sorry. That's so fucked up. No. Oh,
When he's in agony looking it up at us, watching the rest of the series.
I'm really sorry.
Look, there are two sides of every story.
No.
All right. If you want to continue this discussion, you could do so on the Piscord.
We can't call it that. Go to patreon.com/ghostfacers. And for only $1 a month, you get access to Angel Radio, our awesome community Discord server. The people there are lovely, and they help to support us.
That's right. And if you want to leave a note about a future or past episode, much like Lucas has, you can email us at ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com or reach out to us through our various social media platforms.
At GhostfacersPod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Can I just say, I'm sorry, Lucas.
Sorry, your dad's in hell.
but you know,
we know what he did.
so spake the scales. Every time I try to apologize, I double down. What's wrong with me?
So as the scales debridement.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
Fuck.
If don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform that you listen to it on. When you're on there, why don't you give us a 5-star review, and we will read that on a future episode.
That's right.
Also, if you want to get your if you want to get your Lucas's Dad's in Hell t-shirt,
No.
you can go
I'm sure he's not.
GhostfacersPodcastStore.com.
Maybe they just moved Heaven downstairs. It's fine.
Or maybe Ed's not so bad after all t-shirt.
Jesus.
2 things that we basically said in this episode.
That's not what I said.
That's it for this week.
The t-shirt just says, the meatloaf was dry.
Say goodbye, bitch.
Sure.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.